Hello and welcome. Today we're at the Legoland Dubai for the 2022 season, and we're going to take a full POV tour of this park. Now, this was filmed in February. It is now the 19th of May of 2022, and I cannot remember which way I walked. Now, I could have been professional enough to watch the whole half an hour before I then did the voiceover, but I just can't be bothered. So I'm going to watch it back with you for the first time. We're going to soak it all back in together. If I make a mistake, I make a mistake, because I am going to try and do this just in one take. Now, we are in the water section. So this has all the different water rides. It has the underwater fish ride, and it also has the squid races, which has just been renamed at Legoland Windsor. Now, this is also parallel, so the water park is just to the left-hand side of this. So in this sort of one zone on the map, we'll go from the water section, and I do believe it goes into the adventure bit, and then it comes into a completely different bit. So I've said in plenty of videos that the outside of the Legoland Dubai, it is like a big horseshoe shape. Now, we will finish walking through the Miniland section, and then we will finish up by the entrance where the shop and everything is. Now, each individual section of this park does have a more detailed walkthrough, and like for example the submarine adventure, I do get on that ride in a different video, and you can see all the fish and everything in that ride. Now, as always doing these things, I always try and do this at the end of the day so I can make sure that I've got enough footage. I was actually at a different theme park before coming here, and then thought I've just got enough time to get this done before it sort of all closes. So I had about 20 minutes until the park shut, so that is possibly one of the reasons why it's empty. But then in all the videos and most of the days, the parks are just really quiet, because I've said it every time, it was running parallel to the expo. So the nice thing about the water bit, there are lots and lots of different models, and there's also lots of photo opportunities as well, which I think is a really nice thing. It's just nice so you can sort of stop and soak it all and take it all in. And now what I also like is how they have the sun protectors above their head, because I think they would work quite well with bad weather as well. So hopefully certain parks might take that into consideration, so they can add in a little bit more shade easier. Now, when we get around to the Lego City, I think they've done that really well within there, because they put those sorts of bits up with benches in the middle, so it doesn't eat into any of the walkway, and it's just really easy to sit down and just grab a quick drink if you need to, so the little ones don't overheat or anything like that. So I think certain parks could learn from what they've done in Dubai. Now, the Dubai park itself is quite small compared to a lot of the other parks. However, this obviously does have a enormous water park bolted onto the side of it, which you do need a separate ticket for, and that is just packed full of water slides, and you can spend a good day in that park, if not longer, just relaxing in the sun and just sort of having a good bit of fun going down all the rides. So the Lost Kingdom adventure, that is just your normal sort of target laser shooter that you get on like you do at all the other parks, and we have a quick look at some of the queue lines where possible. If you can't get in because that ride for some reason was closed basically the whole time I was there, because even in the video of me doing this tour, they let me know that this ride was closed as well, but I did manage to get into the exit bit and just have a quick look at some of the models that are available. And we have a better look at the camel, which is to the right hand side down there, and then we also had a better look within the restaurant, because they had just opened that bit up as well. So there is lots of different things to look at in different videos, but this is just almost like a tour map of how you get from one section to another. And if you've not caught any of the other videos, we might see some different bits and pieces within this as well. So that to the left is all the Eatery. Again, I like what they've done over the top, just with the little sort of sun protectors and everything else, so it didn't feel too hot with regards of direct sunshine on you. It was just obviously, it was just a little bit humid like it would be, so you felt like you were nicely protected from the sun, but there was also lots of places that if you wanted to sit down in the sunshine, you could as well. So I think they got the balance right. So just a reminder, this was filmed when Dubai was in very strict COVID regulations, so a lot of the places like this bit that we're looking at now, which is their base camp sort of play area, that was completely shut off and closed, and that is why everybody is wearing masks, including myself, as we go around. So even though we are now the 19th of May when this has actually been voiceover, and I'm probably going to upload it tonight as well, just take that into consideration with regards to what you're seeing, because obviously the rules and regulations change quickly. I do like how it goes from one park to another, and it has these nice divides in. So whereas other parks you would sort of walk around and you just go into that section and come straight back out of that section and then sort of carry on walking into the park, I like how it just sort of flows with this park, and you've got all these models around the outside, because If I remember rightly, we will turn straight round, and then they've got another one which is for the Imagination Centre. There we go. So you've got this little divide, and then the theming and everything completely changes. So this is what I mean by it's got zone to zone to zone. Personally, I think the Lego City is the best zone of everything because it has the most shops. I think it's got just different rides, and they have added different bits and pieces in. This Imagination Centre compared to, say, for example, Windsor, is just completely different. There's nothing the same at all, apart from maybe the little bit of a building experience, which is in those buildings quite far back. That is where they've got like the little Lego bins and things like that, where you can sort of sit down and build. But like I said, I am basically the only person here, so I can get to walk around everything, and you can get to soak everything at the same time. If you've been after February, let me know what you think. I have seen other people uploading different videos, and they had done different challenges as well, which I wish they had on, like games and things when I was there, because they had done like an adventure challenge where you had to find different bits and pieces, and they sort of made it a little bit more interactive, which I think that's what was missing when it was so quiet, because when there's not that many people, it's hard to have atmosphere, which is absolutely fine because it is what it is. But if they just give you something to do to take your mind off the fact that it's quite quiet, then it's just nice just to get your teeth sunk into it. If you're there just to sort of have a go on some of the rides, but also look at all the models and everything else like that as a family, whereas you could easily get on all the rides quite quickly. This is one of the rides that I think they should have in most of the parks, but they've taken them out of some and they've got them in at others. So is this ride in your local Lego park? Because I like the fact that you can get a good view going up to the top, and you can see everything over the top as well. Now again, look how they've got the shade and everything, and look how little space it takes up. Do they have something like that in your park? Do you live in a hot climate? I don't think they've got that sort of thing in Florida, but I've not been to the one in New York and California yet. So anywhere else that is very, very hot, with regard like Malaysia as well, let us know. Let us know if you're watching this from a different area, because I'm just comparing this to Billund and also Windsor and Germany, and I think Windsor is the least covered out of all of them. So all those videos are available in completely different playlists. Obviously, we're looking in the Dubai Legoland 2022 playlist. There is a Billund playlist available for Legoland and a Windsor, and hopefully there'll be others coming out as well over the next year or so. As we go around, let me know what your favourite models are. Let me know what you think of all these massive dinos, and yes, that is made of Duplo rather than Lego, because we are by their Duplo Valley. So that is just a nice little section within the Imagination section. Now that is again a huge difference compared to the Windsor one, because Duplo Valley is its own land in Windsor. It's about this size that we're walking around just for the little ones, and it also has the water area and things. Whereas, to be fair to Dubai, it is split, because the water bit for the children is obviously in the water park, and they have a big Duplo section there, whereas they've just added in this sort of little Duplo Valley for them to play in. And they've sort of done the same thing in Billund as well, but Billund's just on a slightly bigger scale, because if you look at that playlist, it's close to where the fish are, and it's also close to the Ninjago section as well. So it's all the sort of same age demographic for the bits and pieces that they can do. But I do like how they have very large and vast models within the walk-rounds. I think it's just nice to stop and soak in and take a look at, because they're just on a much bigger scale than a lot of the other parks, where a lot of the parks just have the sort of the minifigure cutouts, where this is just full-blown everything. Killian, that is obviously for yourself, so if you're watching this, let me know if you caught that one. And I like these little things as well, where they're just trying to move the Lego bricks, and it's just things that obviously people can take photos with. And around the outside, yes, okay, some of the shops and things are shut, but it's a very, very quiet part of their season, so I don't think they close basically at all, because the weather is so nice. The water park does, not too sure about the Lego park. From what I can gather, that is almost open all year round, just because they don't need to close it because of the weather as well. So that will be why certain things aren't open now, but hopefully they'll be open when you go. With regards to the 4D cinema, that was open, that's what we're just to the left, but all of this here I think used to be an eatery, that is now no longer. But where we have these big giraffes, they now have the artwork above it, which is again, I think it's like a little pit stop for the little ones to go in, and you see some little pushchairs and things that were there. If you don't see it in this video, you will see it in the other video of the Imagination section tour. Now they have every single type of giraffe in this park, whereas the other parks just have either one or two. So let me know what giraffe you have in your park. Random question, I know, but it would just be nice to know who's got what in what park, and how yours change compared to the ones that you're seeing now. Now, I do really like the Dubai park. Even though the rides are really basic, I just like how it flows. They don't need to have massive sections in, like they don't have an Ninjago section, for example. They don't have a Friend section. They don't have any of those sort of rides in or anything like that. They don't have a Heart Lake City, but they don't need it because their main focus point is the Lego water park that is just next door. And when I went from one to another on the same day, it was empty like this at the Legoland, and it was very busy at the water park. So that is where everybody is, because I think it might be down to the masks and just the heat, whereas obviously you can't wear a mask in the water, so you can just sort of soak in the sun a little bit easier. What are your favourite models, and have you spotted any new rides around the outside as well? Because there are a couple of different rides in this park that aren't actually located at the other parks as well, so they have got different bits and pieces. Now, that is the test centre, so I would imagine that would be very similar to what they have at the Lego house. Again, that is available in the players. I think it's the blue section where you build your car and you race it down the track, and it's obviously air-conned, it's nice and shaded. It's just a nice activity for the little ones to build. Now, there is a lot of building bins available within Dubai, and I think they're starting to add more and more in the other parks as well. I have seen some new uploads from different people where they've gone to, say, Windsor, for example, and they've added in new bits for the 2022 season, so I'm looking forward to getting there in the next couple of weeks, and obviously then their videos will get uploaded and staggered over the up and coming months. So that is the end of the Imagination Centre. You spin it around, you turn around, and then we are in the Kingdom section, which is all the roller coasters and everything like that. So you've got a photo opportunity for the prisoners on the inside, and yes, that roller coaster is absolutely massive compared to a couple of the others. It's got a little bit of pace to it as well, which is really nice. But that is the main sort of coaster in this park. But they have a lot of models to look at as well. So again, it depends what you're coming here for, doesn't it? Because if you really like building Lego sets and you just want to soak it all in and you want to have a look at all the Lego side of stuff, there is plenty of different bits and pieces for you to look at. There's plenty of bits and pieces to sit down in shade, grab a drink, soak it all in, and just grab a bite to eat, and then get on one or two of the rides, and then that's your day done. If you just were running in for the rides and that's all you wanted, you would get your day done quite quickly, and then you would sort of just miss all of these little models like the rabbits and things like that. So there is a lot of things to soak in and take in at this park, very similar to Mythica. I like that mix, how they've got a Mythica and what they're doing here, because you've got just the right amount of models compared to the rides and things as well, because I always like to have a look around and soak in all the different models, and then obviously try and get on the rides and just soak in all the queue lines and everything like that. It's just nice to see. I'm there mainly for the Lego rather than the rides, because obviously it's not a Disney, it's not a Universal, but I just really like all the different kinds of theming that they've got hidden around. You could easily walk past all of this. You could literally just shoot past it all, just run to the next thing. And also the nice thing that you do in Dubai is they have a lot of different eateries as well. So they'll have a main restaurant, or they'll have a main cafe or anything like that around where the rides are. And again, how they've got all the shading and things, it just doesn't eat into the footpath and the walkway. Nothing gets in the way. And like, there you go, look, you've got some nice benches where you can either sit in the sun or sit in the shade. They've got them either side. There's plenty of different places to sit down and just sort of relax a little bit. Now, this is all the one theme, so this is all your Kingdom theming, where obviously the queue line and everything is very impressive with regards to how you actually have to go in and through some doors on this one, and it is all air conditioned, because I would imagine this would be the longest queue outside in the sun, so that's why they actually built it indoors for this one, and the ride goes outside. Again, in the actual tour of the Kingdom section in this Dubai playlist, it is available, where we'll go in and go around, and then we'll see the actual coaster go around the track and everything as well. But like I said, this is just more of a map tour, like a full tour of everything that is available in all the different sections. Now from here, it's quite clever how it just goes through the doors and then you're inside. So it's very loud and very echoey, as you can possibly imagine, but again, they've got a lot of models on display. It's nice and simple, in and out, and this is also where your toilets are as well, so this mimics all the others that are available in all the other parks. Every park I've been to so far has the toilet block within this one, but the difference is on this one is that the restaurant for this is over on the other side. It's not in the actual castle, and they have a little shop, but they don't have like a huge area, because it will lead you out into the actual walkway. So there's slight differences with this one with regards to the sort of the structure and the layout, but you can see that's your queue line as it loops up and all the way around across the top, just like they all do, and then you can just queue up at the top where you get onto the coaster and then you shoot back down. But I do like all the theming and everything they got in this one. I think it's very, very effective. And then what we'll do, we'll go back outside the doors in a second, as well, once we've just soaked in all the other models and found all the other lights and everything, and obviously hunt down the little toilet block, which is just there to the right hand side, I do believe. There we go. And yeah, there's a lot of Lego models and lots of things to take in and just take photos of, but you've got to go looking for them. They're not just sort of like a case of, oh, there you go, it's nice and easy to find. But there's a lot of space within this park. I think it's more of the wider parks that they've got within these sort of different areas, and it's just nice. It just feels nice and open. Like the walkway in and out there, it's just absolutely massive, so you can have good groups of people coming in and out. It doesn't feel like you're going to bang into anybody. It might be if it's absolutely rammed, obviously it's not, but it just feels like there's just a lot of space ready for when it is nice and busy, which is nice. So there's your market, which is your little shop, so that's where you can go in and have a look in. I didn't go in on this tour, but that is obviously just where you can get like your shields and your little minifigures, and it's just like a little shop on the left. And then on the right hand side it is a nice eatery, your knight's table I do believe, and that has some really nice models out the front as well. But now we found even more models where we've got all the little dragons, and we also have some other animals and deers and things to have a look at as well. And then there's this land just keeps going, because we've got the Dragon Apprentice down a little bit further down, and then you've got two more rides on the left hand side as well. And then from here there's actually two ways you can go. So you can either go in and use the big island as a cut through, so you can use the Miniland as a big cut through if you want to, where you can go from different section to different section, or you can do what I'm taking you around on this sort of map and tour, where we just walk around the outside. So I do believe we are just going to carry on walking around the outside, and we go into the Lego section last. So I should, from memory, which I can't remember much of this, we will go down the Dragon Apprentice now. Now all the animatronics and everything are working on all of these little dragons that you can see. Now this is a ride that does a double loop, so he goes around twice, and then again you can sit down, watch your little ones on the ride if you want to, in complete shade, because there's plenty of benches, and there's a lot more models to have a look at as well. Now a lot of these models I do believe I've seen before at the Lego villages that they have dotted around in Billund and Germany, so they've just sort of made the most of these models, and they've just plonked them in this section. And again you can see where all the benches are, and it makes a massive difference just with that shade as well, and just how they've done it. And you can see the sort of the water system and everything that they put in there, and obviously they are real, it is real plantation as well, they're not plastic. Obviously you're in Dubai, so it's obviously a desert, so it's obviously going to be quite hard to keep all of them watered. But I think it looks very, very effective, and we'll come looping round, we'll have a look up at that, because I do believe that's going. And then there'll be a quick battery change, not that you're going to notice because the editing is just going to be absolutely spectacular. So bang, there we go, different battery, and we are back on it. So you've got the Scoopalop, that's a nice ice cream factory. That is actually currently open. I think that was one of the first times that was open when I walked past that. Didn't manage to get anything from there, but it is what it is. Now you've got these two rides side by side. One of these I have seen before, one of them I have not seen in one of the parks. Again, you do get a better detailed look at these rides in the other sort of full park tour. But that one you've got a pedal on. The quicker you pedal, that one rises up and then rises back down again. And then the other one to the right, they do have in Billund and Windsor as well, just with slightly different theming, where it just sort of loops around in a circle and it goes over the little bridges, and then it just sort of picks up the pace a little bit. Now we're going to talk about picking up the pace. We're going to start shooting off and coming round directly in front now, and to the right hand side they are your pay to plays. Again, different theming colour wise with regards to shading, I quite like that. And then you're going to spin around, walk straight through that amazing themed castle gate, and then as we come out, we will then go into the next thing. So that is me in the background telling the members of staff to enjoy their day, because they want me to do a pay to play, and obviously I am not going to do that. And we now have more models to look at. So we've got a couple of them falling asleep, a couple of the guards falling asleep on the floor just there, and then we have some more at the very, very front. Again, it's just a really nice photo opportunity, and the scale of everything is just absolutely massive. It's just huge entrances, huge everything. But we are going to spin around in a second, and I think we go straight into the Lego City section. I think that is the next section that we come into. So we're going to loop it around, come around. So we're about to hit the 20-minute mark of 31. We do get on one of the rides actually on this. I do manage to get on the boat ride, so I've now managed to film every single one of those so far from every park, and it's just a nice little thing to get on. You can just see the differences between all of them. I like how they've got the Welcome to Lego City up there, but it did used to be something different, because if you look, it is weathered, and so if you pause it at the right place, it did have something else written on there. So it would be interesting to find out what that used to say and what they've changed it to. But I have said this before, lots of different things you can do in this. So to the left hand side, that's which is where you get on the cars, that's where you get your driving license. You've got the big one and the little one, and then if you go up and left a little bit further, you have a car shop where you can get all the Lego Speed Champions and everything like that. Now the reason why I'm keeping it higher rather than lower is because this actually did have people in. So in the police section and in the offstage section, there was a lot of Lego bins where all the little ones were just sort of coming towards the end of the day and just building lots of different bits and pieces. So it's a shame I couldn't go in there to show you, but I'm not going to go in there with everybody in there. But that police bit is just where you go in. It's got a little bit of artwork around the outside, and then you can just build up lots and lots of different things. It's just got a lot of Lego brick bins. So again, it's just nice that it's just an opportunity for the little ones to build. Now I have said this before, there's lots of different sets and fascias in the Lego City section, in this section, and they have taken them from different parts of different parks as well. So they've got the harbour section in here with the rides. They've obviously got the driving school up in this bit where they've got the big one and the small one, and the fascias just look like the Octane garages that they've got. The waterfall I did say spot how many different Lego elements that you can find within this and all the different minifigures. So again, in the comments below, let me know if you spotted anything new to this one compared to the last one. And you can see there's not a single cloud in the sky either. So it was an absolute beautiful day when this was being filmed. It's quite nice looking at that going. Yeah, the weather was absolutely spot on. But lots and lots of figures, and you can see just in the background there, you've got the little ones going around on their cars. So that is the baby driving school. And in between the two, where you had the sort of the fuel pumps, the petrol pumps, that is where the Speed Champion shop is, and it's just full of different car sets. As we come back down on ourselves, you've now got the harbour to the left-hand side, which is what we are going to have a walk down in. And I do, like I said, get on the boat and actually film a little bit as we go around, which was quite nice to do. Photo opportunity there with the shark. Now you can come down to the boats this way, or the seaport, which is the bit to the right hand side, is just an enormous play area in the middle. So you can see that's where those families are coming from. Now those families actually did end up following me down, and all of a sudden it got very, very busy very, very quickly in the queue line. Bearing in mind there's nobody here, and then all of a sudden everybody wanted to do this ride. So this is your boating school. This is what it's called on your map. So if you're trying to hunt this one down, it's easy enough to find. Again, nice big walkway. There are models to have a look at, but then it does loop around the outside of the sort of like the children's area as well. So obviously I only film certain bits, not everybody playing about, but it's from the DP World. Now that is also like the cargo bits and pieces from the Dubai Expo 2020, and that was an absolutely enormous pavilion that they had. So it's got to be their sort of their version of Royal Mail or DPD or FedEx or something like that, where they get all the packages and parcels out to everybody, and that's obviously who the Lego Group use. So can you spot the theming on the outside of all of these, like the city lines, for example? That's obviously the theme that they use on their harbour boats. And then you've got all the other bits and pieces around the outside. So to the right hand side, that's where you can just walk around, and then you can look in and down on the water, and then we'll just go around. Now there's, weirdly, even though there's loads and loads of theming around, there's not that many models on this one, I don't think. They are actually made up of Lego bricks rather than the massive sort of plastic minifigure ones that they do, like the extra large minifigure ones that they do at certain parks. So they do have bits and pieces, and again you can see completely covered and shaded to protect all the little ones as well. And it's huge. That player is absolutely massive. It'll hold loads and loads of little ones, and they can just sort of be dumped down in that way. So, but don't forget, in the other section, you've also got the little Duplo Valley as well. So this is the first park that I've seen with sort of a massive soft play area. But I think they might have done that because they've got the water park to the other side. So it's just nice. It's just nice to be different. So we've got less than 10 minutes left. In the background, that is the massive new hotel that has just recently opened. Never managed to get into that one. It is on the list for one day, but I don't think it's ever going to happen that I can actually get to the entrance of that and have a look around. I had said it in a previous video that my pass actually enabled me to go into the back on certain days, but the day that I realised I could do it, I was at the expo and I couldn't get to that bit, so it was a bit of a shame. But the theming of those rooms, like all the others, are absolutely fantastic, and it looks massive from the outside, so I'd love to see for myself what the actual reception area is like. So we are coming to a little bit of theming with the hotel on the outside. So we've got the football, we've got all the cargo bits and pieces, and then we've got the big Lego figures as well. Now obviously the old cargo sets, be interesting if they do re-release any of those stuff, because a lot of the stuff that we are seeing are a lot of the sets that are either being discontinued or just aren't on the go anymore. So I think this is the busiest section with regards to actual figures and things. We've got them on both sides, and I do like the fact that they are made up of Lego bricks, like I said, not just the solid big plastic models. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I just like the fact that they're bricks on bricks rather than just one solid sort of thing. And I do like how they try to put the theme around the outside, and the duck is a really nice touch. If you don't understand what the duck's for, get yourself over to the Home of the Brick playlist and you'll find everything relating to that wooden duck at the Billund Lego house in Denmark, because that has the full history of everything, and that is also the full loop complete and done. So we will come round. I think we'll have another figure with a mask on the front. For some reason I can remember that, because they put one of the face protecting masks on him. The areas to the left hand side, look. And then we will get off and then carry on walking around and seeing what else is within this section. So hopefully you're enjoying the tour so far, and if you are thinking of coming, then please let me know. If you've been recently, any changes you spot, give us a shout. So come out the queue line. Missed all the people that were queuing up, because like I said, it got really busy really quickly. I don't know why every single person in the park just wanted to do that. I don't know if it was just because it was coming to the end of the day. But you can see the thing to the right hand side is like a garage, and also the driving school, and then the left hand side now, that's where your seaport is, and you've got the harbour bits. And just look for all the models. So you've got the birds, you've got the shark, you've got bits and pieces up top, you've got people up atop of the lighthouse as well. So there's what, 3, 4, 5. So that's the Seaport DP world. So obviously again, with regards to the expo, it must be their main sort of package service. Those colourful things are really nice. Again, all made from Lego, and you've got more and more of them. So you've got more and more models just dotted absolutely everywhere. And now, when I said about the start about how they've done the shade with regards to the city section, this is what it means. They've just got it in the middle. You can still walk in the sunshine if you want to. They've got plenty of benches in the middle which are not in the way at all, and you can just sit down, grab a drink and grab a bite to eat, which is really important when you're absolutely knackered and you're running around and you just need 5 minutes to yourself, rather than trying to hide yourself in a corner. And obviously, if you can imagine how hard it would be with family as well, trying to do that. So I think for you parents, you might appreciate the fact that you can easily just sit down on any of these benches, and you can let the little ones go into the DP world and just have a run around and into that play area, while you can sort of just gather your thoughts again for 5 minutes before you drag them out and carry on walking around. Now there is a lot of bits and pieces to look at with regards to Lego fascias again. So you've got more forklifts, and we come up into the restaurant. Nice big restaurant, and lots of bits and pieces to look at. Again, with the other camera that zoomed, you'll be able to see that it had all the rope, and it had all the figures carrying all the different signs and everything like that. And then over that side, that is one of the airport rides. Now at the front of that, it's quite nice because it has a security check, lots of other massive models and everything to look at as well, and that ride was quite popular. So that one did have a bit of a queue. In the background you hear the siren for the fire ride as well. I keep saying it, you do get much more better detailed look at all the rides in the other videos within this playlist. So if you want to see them out for yourself, just click on those once this one finishes, and then let me know what you think of those videos as well. So that is those sections. That is everything done in the horseshoe around the outside. So obviously the water and the adventure section classes as 2 areas, even though it is only 1, and then we go into the next zone and the next zone. So there's four different zones, and then the doors open up, and then all of a sudden we are into their mini land. Now amazing area. Full tour again, this is already uploaded and available. Luckily I managed to do that on this camera, so it's a lot brighter, and there's 1 or 2 other videos available which are a little bit darker, but it is what it is. So let us know what you think of this mini land compared to yours and how it compares. I have said this in a couple of videos that the focus point of this land and area is the vast scale of the actual models compared to the dioramas that are around the bottom. So there's not that many animatronics compared to a lot of the other mini-lands, but the scale of these buildings are absolutely enormous. You can hear how loud the music is in the background. I have turned that down a huge amount, and it is obviously very, very loud in here at certain times, but that is my only pet hate. But here we are in a different part of it. That's sort of like their music show and light show done, because that's the bit that I caught, and you can just see how nice all of these look and just the scale of everything. I like the colours that they've used and just how it's slightly different. Now we're going outside. There we go. Look, magic transaction, doors open. I know a lot of you like the colours of this and the theming. I think it's absolutely spectacular because this is the first bit that you come into. Everything links, everything matches. You've got the brick factory up here, you've got the picker brick, you've got everything with regards to the shop, the cafe, and you've got a minifigure builder as well. There is a lot of different bits and pieces to have a look at within this. Now what I'm going to do right at the end of this video, I'm going to add in a little bit from the shop, just of the actual minifigure bit, because it's only about a minute or two long, so I'm not going to speak over that, which means I'm going to start to wrap it up here. So guys, if you can like and subscribe and all that good stuff, that would be absolutely fantastic. Hopefully you found this helpful. Feel free to check out all the other videos from the Dubai playlist and the Billund playlist and the Windsor and all the others. My target is to travel as far around the world as possible to make your trips as easy as possible when you book anything Lego related and the surrounding areas. So that's why within the playlists there are other hotels available and other bits and pieces like that. So I am going to let you soak all of this in, let you soak in all the fascias and everything from the shop, which again is available all within the playlists and things. But guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. You lot take care and hope to catch you in the next one. Ta-da.
Daddy, sa spadem balone.
Barbie is on the same as any child. A hot dog. Let's go. What do you say, Zach?
I like your tattoo. Sparkling.
The lady says she likes your tattoo.
Yeah, it's sparkling.
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
Zach, you can't put it back. Zach, you can't put it back.
Let's run, let's
Come on.
fight, let's fight.
Okay,
No, it's fine.
it's okay, it's okay. You can do